Hey everybody, how you doing? This is Father Ben, and we are here at our Soul Food Priest podcast. I'm here with Kira and Sylvia. Hey guys.
Hello, Padre.
How's life?
Great.
Yeah, I think.
We finished with Holy Week.
let's
breathe.
With the good, out with the Father Ben. In with the good, out with the Father Ben. Yes, it
Exalted is done.
You did it.
Yeah.
So did it.
For those
Not
of you that
perfect.
don't know, so the Exalted is it's this long song, for lack of, or litany, I guess it
12
would
minutes
be.
to be exact.
Yeah. That you sing at the beginning of the Vigil Mass before Easter, and traditionally a deacon is supposed to sing it, or a priest. And so, welcome to Father Sylvia. And so she sang this, and so, by the way, you did a great job.
We did it.
Always.
It wasn't perfect, but it was perfectly imperfect.
It was
Beautifully imperfectly perfect.
It's just perfection.
It's really it was so beautiful. You nailed it. It was gorgeous. We were going to
Thank you,
sell
Padre.
bumper stickers and T-shirts with your face on
We
it.
were rock stars for the Lord
Yes,
last week. We did
it
it.
made me very, very happy. Very happy.
And I was not here, and
Pagan.
I was observing. I just wasn't working.
Yeah.
So
which is nice.
I got
which
to
is nice.
prayerfully enter
Yeah.
into it.
And
So
that's how it
Yes.
should
I
be.
feel
I
guilty
think you
for
should
saying
sing
that.
it. I think you should sing it next
No,
year.
no, everybody will leave. Nobody will come back.
She did an amazing job.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
gracias.
sure. I know. I was. Yeah, you were nervous about it.
It scares me
Yeah.
every year.
I was
But
like,
we'll get a deacon next year.
We will have a deacon next year, but you will still be singing it.
Okay.
To be clear.
Because
so,
when it's sung beautifully.
yeah, and
you
there's
just
no
can't.
musical accompaniment.
There's it's
So,
a cappella.
it's
It's
totally-
a chant. I've timed it. It's right under 12 minutes, so it's like 11:50 something.
Mm-hmm.
No music. I mean, once you get lost, it's hard to find your way. I did get lost. I'm not. It wasn't perfect, but you just have to wing it for 2 seconds, and then find your way again.
Yeah.
So
That works. Yeah.
thankfully, all the lights are off.
Yeah, exactly. It was beautiful. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful when you're a priest/pastor and you're just listening to it. And for me, it's just a flood of emotions
Yeah.
because
It
I have
is
so many
beautiful.
memories that I've attached over the years with the Exalted. And we had 100 people come in the church, which was
It
really
was
cool.
a beautiful,
And so,
beautiful, long.
yeah, it was
beautiful
only
night.
3.5 hours.
Just 3.5 hours.
Hey, ours went longer.
Did it?
So
Really?
with fewer people. So
Wow.
there you go.
Oh.
Y'all did a good job.
Good. Well,
rocked it.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
I was thinking about this morning in light of the fact that our late Holy Father is now with the Lord. Thank you, Pope Francis, for everything that you've
Yes.
done for humanity. But we talked about before his favorite food, one of which was empanadas.
Love me some good empanadas.
Empanada. Well, and that's what I was going to ask you. Did your mom ever make those?
Yes. Now, there are different types of empanadas.
Yeah.
I'm sure that Pope Francis loved the Argentinian version of empanadas, which sometimes are deep fried, and sometimes they are oven made, depending on if they used, what type of empanada covering or whatever you call it, the outer layer.
The pastry.
Yeah, the pastry. We deep fry ours,
Of
and
course.
I love a good
Yeah.
ground beef
Oh, yeah.
empanada with potatoes, or a good chicken tinga, which is a chipotle sauce.
Oh, yeah.
Shredded chicken.
Yeah.
So good.
Excellent.
So, okay, what all
Excellent.
is in an empanada?
It's really neat because you can make them so many different ways, and like in Spain, they'll have them as in different parts of Spain near the Basque region, they would call it pinchos, or like in other parts of Spain they have what is that word? The tapas.
Yes.
So they'll have tapas, and it's kind of just something to munch on, right? But then, it's interesting because in Italy, they make them like they would a calzone.
Oh.
And the calzones are bigger and breadier. But then in India, they have samosas. And
never heard of
samosas are really the same thing. It tends to have green peas and potatoes. So in all parts of the world, they have their own kind of version of it. And of course, in South America, like where you're talking about, they would often deep fry it. Whereas in the South, we would make it with what they call fried pies. And so it's kind of the same thing. And so...
what do you call the hojaldra? It's kind of like the pastry that you use for it's that thin thing, and you put water on it and you cover it.
Oh, phyllo?
Yes, so that my grandma used to have that for her pastries, and one day she wanted to make empanadas. She went in the pantry and didn't have any flour or anything, and she used that.
Wow.
And then she used the egg wash on top, and she put them in the oven instead of deep frying them.
Oh, yeah.
And they actually turned out delicious.
Yeah.
And chicken, shredded chicken.
That sounds really good. That sounds really, really good.
Really hungry now.
Yeah. The French have this thing that they make. It's called empapio, which is like a package. So they'll take parchment paper and then put anything in there like a fish, vegetables, aromatics, and then they make it the same way, like a package, like one would make an empanada. They bake it, and they sometimes serve it, as crazy as it sounds, on a plate of piping hot rock salt. What it does is it keeps it warm, very warm, and then when they serve it, they cut it open, and it's like very aromatic. It's called empapio. And they don't do that as much as they used to do years ago, but I've always loved that. And very few restaurants ever do that because you smell it and see it long before you eat it. But empanadas, the Pope loved this.
So it's in about an hour and a half. If the clock is right, we will have lunchtime, so we'll go get empanadas because now I can't stop thinking about empanadas.
Okay, good. Because I was like, I didn't bring lunch, and I thought there might be something on this table today.
No, I did not.
So now I'm really hungry.
On his defense, I did say that I was going to bring a choco flan. And I did not bring it. I did forget. So
thank you,
on his
Sylvia.
defense.
Thanks for taking it on the chin.
Please don't fire me.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, really. It's seriously. Now, it was my fault because this morning I woke up, I'm like half awake. And I was like, what should I make? And I was like, it's not going to happen.
Not today.
It's not going to happen. Yeah.
So
that's about every day for me.
Pope Francis, smart guy. Empanadas are delicious.
Indeed.
Yep.
Yeah, I was thinking, and we were kind of thinking, just so everybody knows, that instead of doing multiple episodes, we're gonna have a discussion and maybe split it up into two discussions, or 2 episodes. So what I was thinking may be helpful, because I get asked this constantly. You guys probably get asked this. Especially since the Holy Father has passed. Yeah. Father, what are maybe some of the takeaways from the pontificate, both the pros and the cons? And this is, they've done this in church history for every single pontificate, right? And really for every pastor, even, of every small parish. What are some of the positives that have happened? What are the things maybe we need to clarify or work on?
Okay.
And church historians for years to come will be unpacking this pontificate like they do every pontificate. They just, in the Catholic world, it's generally bad form to do that while someone is still alive, right? Yeah. So that you want to give the person time. Otherwise, it kind of smells of criticism in the sense, not that all that's bad, but they want to wait until the Lord calls a person home to kind of unpack. Okay, what is the legacy here? Okay. And so I was thinking maybe what we could do is kind of go through some of that stuff. And what I did in preparation for our podcast here is I did some research on this, and then tried to kind of give my personal assessment. Okay, so with that, I mean, if you guys don't mind, I'm just going to kind of go through some of the positives that I read.
Okay.
And so, for instance, it's an obvious point, but just to point this out, incredible focus on the poor and the marginalized. I mean, people on the fringes, and reaching out to them, to non-Catholics. So the argument was made over the course of this pontificate that he actually reached out more to non-Catholics than he did to Catholics. People in the Catholic world can argue, is that a positive or negative? I don't claim to know the answer to that. Above my pay grade, but I would say to some extent, I think there's definitely some truth there. I'll give you an example. I've had dozens of funerals and weddings where non-Catholics have been there, and they said, "Can I just tell you how much I love your Pope?" Right, and kudos, Francis, to that. He was elected as a reformer. In fact, his biography, Austin Ivory, primary biographer, his book is called The Great Reformer. And he was really primarily elected to reform the Roman Curia, and he made progress. There's still a lot to be done there, but by reform, what that word literally means is radix. So we're going back to the roots, right? And we've seen that all throughout church history with people like Teresa of Avila, John of the Cross, that try to bring a community back to its roots, right? And that's one of the things that he has tried to do, right? His environmental concerns, Pope Francis was fiercely pro-life as well, and really defending life, and really trying to underscore the importance of life in all of its stages, which was an important point, again, for non-Catholics. I mean, this is, as we recently had George Weigel on the podcast, and Weigel has pointed out in a number of his works that one of the things that we have in common with our non-Catholic friends is we've kind of locked arms in the culture war, and one of which being the pro-life issue. And I think that's one of the reasons why so many non-Catholics, among other things, loved Francis, whereas so many of them loved Benedict because of his focus on Scripture. And so it's really kind of interesting there, how both of them actually kind of reached a lot of non-Catholics. I mean, for instance, with Benedict, the Protestant theologians at places like Baylor University, for instance, they loved Benedict. In fact, they were singing his praises long before he was elected Pope, because of his scriptural emphasis, right? One of the other things that I think is often overlooked with Francis, one of the positives, was he really highlighted the reality that we've talked about on the podcast of angels and demons. And that whole angelology, demonology world. First line of the Nicene Creed we profess every Sunday, all things visible and invisible. And he did not ever shy away about underscoring that reality. So much so that the argument has been made, and I actually agree with it, that we have not had a pope in well over 50 years that has talked about the reality of demonology more than Francis. And part of that, I think, came from his Jesuit background. But I think there's really a lot of truth to it.
I really wasn't aware of that. I guess I focus it, the news on that, or him talking about it, but that's good because it's so real. And he really highlighted that quite a bit. So I think, again, usually I would say he would do it in the context of like a general audience address or something along those lines, right? Love that.
And traveling, my heavens, traveling to all parts of the world, not unlike John Paul, traveling to all parts of the world. That a lot of that really kind of picked up steam under Pope Paul VI. Pope Paul VI was. It's not that popes didn't travel. We didn't see that up until Paul VI, if I'm not mistaken, became pope in 1963, and during the Vatican II. And after he became pope, it just picked up steam, this traveling to all parts of the globe. And then, of course, with John Paul. But Francis and Benedict really picked that up. So they really deserve kudos for that. One of the things that I loved about Francis was when he would be looking for bishops, he wanted guys that were pastors. And whereas, and this is some of the critique of his predecessors, is that they were looking so much more to guys with advanced degrees. And I think, personally, my own opinion is, I think that's a little, I don't agree with that so much, because I think they were looking for both. But I think with Francis, what we saw is when he would make bishops, he was often looking for guys that were just in the coal mines with the people of God.
It's important.
Yeah. Yeah, and exactly. I mean, for instance, our bishop here in Memphis was a pastor at multiple places before he became bishop. And I can say pastors really, really appreciate when their bishop was a pastor first, because they know what it's like.
Correct. Yeah.
And so, in other words, for lack of a better phrase, you get street creds.
Right? I love that.
And so that helps. That
Literally.
helps. Again, to that point, he made cardinals. Francis made cardinals from at the most far-flung places of the globe. I'm like, Mongolia. Where's Mongolia, man? And like, so there now. As we're sitting here, there's a cardinal from Mongolia that's coming to vote in the new conclave, and so we've never had that before. And he made cardinals of places that have such a minuscule amount of Catholics. They've never had a cardinal before, and I don't even know if they had a bishop before. But I mean, it's really beautiful. It's a nod to them. That and frankly, it's how it should be. I mean, the word Catholic means universal. Right? And finally, I think that one of the things he really deserves a lot of credit for is some of his canonizations, including Saint Mother Teresa. 2016, I think she was canonized. John Paul II, right? Oscar Romero from El Salvador. So he really he wanted to underscore, I think, what John Paul II continued in saying, that the Holy Spirit is active in the lives of the people of God, and we need to highlight that.
True.
He was going to do Carlo Acutis too.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and have the first millennial saint, but that's been postponed due to his passing. But just making sure that the faith remains relevant, that saints remain relevant to our lives. So that was beautiful to canonize him. So.
Yeah, indeed, and
Blessed Pier Giorgio Frassati too.
Yeah, that's right.
That one's been held off for a while.
Okay, yeah.
Blessed Pier Giorgio Frassati, he's been a blessed for a long time. But Carlo Acutis is very recent. He just popped on. And
because they were going to canonize him at the same time?
No, actually, I think they were going to do Carlo Acutis in April, and I think Frassati is like in August or something.
August. Okay.
Yeah, I thought they would be at the same time, but it was at two different dates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, he had an immense respect for the Holy Spirit at work in the people, and I mean, I think I always encourage people to really not forget that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really important, and to spend time studying the lives of some of these people. It's incredible. Oscar Romero, he was assassinated in March of 1980 while he was celebrating Mass in El Salvador and the capital. And I was a huge fan of his, and I was so elated that he was made a saint.
Yeah.
And because the guy was just no fear.
Yeah.
No fear. He was very, very close with John Paul II. Hit John Paul very hard when he died.
Yeah.
And so so it's neat. It's neat to kind of remember some of these points. I think it maybe in the same conversation, we need to be honest in assessing both the pros and the cons, as we are in any pontificate. And that is very important from the standpoint of church history, really any history. I mean, if you talk to anybody that leads, that's how we grow. That's how we learn, right?
Exactly.
And so, and I know you guys have probably had, do you have people ask you about this a lot, like about Pope Francis and stuff?
You did forget a positive.
What's that?
Latin American.
Yes, yes.
I was like, Latino, right there.
Yes.
Yep, empanadas.
Valid point. Valid point.
He was a great dancer. I heard that he was a good dancer.
And he was a bouncer, too. Before he went in the seminary, he was a bouncer at a club.
So,
amazing. Yeah.
Spicy.
Yeah.
Did not see that coming.
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you guys ever tried, he loved this beverage mate.
Yeah, I've never tried it. I've been afraid because I'm afraid about tasting new things.
Yeah.
I have not.
Yeah.
But whoever
we could do
likes it
too.
loves
Yeah,
it.
yeah, we could.
So there is no, either you don't like it or you absolutely love it. So
What is in it?
Please tell us what's in it. It's like a tea. It is not.
Mate is like it's kind of like tea.
Yeah.
It's like it's almost like tea. So there's a special. I don't even know it has a straw that's built into it.
It's like a steel one. It's
yeah,
not
it's like a
plastic.
steel straw. So it filters out the herbs. It's a lot of herbs.
Okay.
But I had it once, and man, it was like drinking 15 cups of coffee. It was like,
wow.
No wonder people like this stuff.
So this isn't an alcoholic beverage. We went from bouncer at a club to the drink.
Yeah,
so
sorry.
I just automatically went alcohol.
No,
So
it's really big in South America, especially
huge.
Argentina.
Okay.
So it's traditional, I guess. So if we have like our ponche and our chocolate and our café de olla, Argentinians have.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What is the milk? Is it atole?
See.
That-
I'm from
that's
Mexico,
more
but I
Central
don't
America.
like atole. It's too thick for me.
Yeah.
Is it a drink or is it food?
Yeah.
Like if it's in between, like
Yeah.
some people absolutely love it. Like
Yeah.
It's like an eggnog.
It's thick
think
like
it's
that. It's
even
So they make
I think
they make
thicker.
atole with like pureed rice.
Oh, I've had it.
Yeah,
Have ya?
we've had it here.
Yes, I've had it. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We've got chocolate
Jury's
flavor.
out on that one
Yeah.
for me.
The pecan one.
Oh, yeah.
I'm okay. That's
Yeah.
really good. But
It's rich.
It's
Very rich.
The consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it
just
does.
like
it's like a smoothie.
Yeah.
it kind of
like,
is.
In Central
oatmeal
America, they
smoothie.
use plantains.
They
So
do.
they use plátano.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to
plantains.
remind you
Yeah,
of
thank
the
you.
positive. We'll
Thank
make sure
you
we
for
add it
that.
on the
That-
list.
Clearly. Yes, that's muy importante. Claro que sí. Yeah.